Hello, let's talk about the one thing you should know about nutrition when you're first starting eating disorder recovery. My name is Lena, I'm an eating disorder recovery coach, and I'm here to talk about all things related to eating disorder recovery. When you're first starting the recovery journey, you likely want to do everything right. You really do want to show up for your body, you want to make sure that you're feeding it all of the things that it needs, and you want to make sure that it gets all of the nutrition that it needs in this very moment of recovery. So you may even go ahead and hire somebody like a nutritionist or like a dietitian, or somebody who will even put together a meal plan for you that you can follow, that you can trust that all of the nutritional things that your body needs are being met. Maybe you're not hiring someone, but you're still asking yourself the same question. What do I need to know about nutrition as I'm starting my eating disorder recovery journey? I've come on here today to answer this question for you. There is one thing that you need to know about nutrition, and it's this. It doesn't really matter in the first phases of your recovery journey at all. This is because as you're starting recovery, it's very likely that your body is actually still in a state of starvation, in a state of depletion, in a state of panic really, because you haven't been feeding it consistently. And it doesn't matter what eating disorder you're coming from. Yeah, it may be a little more obvious if you struggle with anorexia. But even if you say, I struggle with binge eating disorder and I'm just eating all of the time, so clearly I can't possibly be in a deficit, and my body should be good on that. And so I'm clearly not in starvation mode. However, I personally have yet to meet somebody with binge eating disorder or a binge eating problem who doesn't also struggle with restriction. If you feel like you're struggling with binge eating disorder, really ask yourself if there are never any phases where you try to paddle in the other direction and you restrict for a while until you binge again. So I want to say that if you struggle with binge eating disorder, there likely is an element of restriction in that as well. If there isn't, that's cool, then you don't need to listen to this advice. However, if you feel like, yeah, it's possible that my body is really in a state of panic and it's really in this depleted state, then you don't need to worry about nutrition at all. The thing is that if your body is in a state of starvation, it's really in a state of survival. All it cares about is survival. It really isn't about, am I getting enough of this vitamin? Am I getting enough of this amino acid? It doesn't matter in that sense because your body is focused on survival. It's not going to use any of the nutrition that you give it right now to build specific things anyway, because it's like your body's on fire. Imagine if your body was literally on fire right now, like literally your clothes are burning and you just you have one focus, and that is to put out the fire, right? You don't care about anything else. So let's say there is a cesspool close by, and normally if you weren't on fire right now, you wouldn't really want to jump into that cesspool. Duh, like why would you? That's disgusting. But right now, because you're on fire, you're like, there's something to put out the fire. Let me run there and let me put out the fire, and then I can still shower that off, and obviously I'll never jump into the cesspool again unless I'm in a state of survival. Same with your body. Being in a state of starvation really is kind of the equivalent to your body being on fire and just looking for something to put out the fire. In that moment, it doesn't matter if there's a pristine, clear source of water that you want to bask in. It doesn't matter. Anything will do. Right? And so that's kind of where your body is at. And so it may not even be interested in nutrition right now because it has like tunnel vision. It's like, survival. Let me put out the fire. And so you really actually don't need to overthink it in the first phases of recovery, where you're just focusing on getting your body out of starvation mode, out of survival mode. And if your body's in survival mode, it may just go for food, whatever that is. It may be things that you haven't eaten in years, because now you're actually allowing yourself to eat. And so your body is like, I see a chance to put out the fire. I see a chance out of this crazy mode that I'm in. And so it may just be asking you for all of the food, no matter what that is, even if it's a pizza and ice cream and cake and brownies and like candy. It doesn't matter, because your body's like, need food to survive. Nutrition comes into play much later on in the journey. Right now, it actually doesn't matter so much. It matters that you eat. It matters that you eat enough, that you eat however much your body is asking you for, and that you just go with whatever that is. So don't overthink it. Don't overcomplicate the process. If you're in survival mode, your only focus should be to get out of survival mode, whatever it takes. And then after that, when your body calms down and it has a moment to just balance out, that is when you can start thinking about nutrition. Right now, the only thing that you need to know is that for you, in the beginning stages of recovery, nutrition really actually doesn't matter. I know this video may not have been what you expected it to be, but it really is the truth. And so I want to just take that pressure off of you, where you're just thinking about what your body may be needing specifically, because for you it's very simple. Your body needs food. Your body needs you to eat, and it needs you to likely eat a lot of food, and it needs you to not worry about what that food is, because once the fire calms down, once your body is no longer on fire, it won't be craving everything in sight anymore, and it will just calm down. So trust that. Know that nutrition will come into play in a later stage of recovery, but right now, forget about it. Just surrender to what your body is asking you for, and that is really all you need to know. If you need a little bit more help with recovery and you're not quite sure how to work this whole journey, I do offer one-on-one recovery coaching, so I'll have a link to my website down in the description box below, so you can check that out. If you enjoyed this video, I would love it if you gave it a thumbs up, if you subscribe to my channel, and I'm sending you so much love and so many blessings on your recovery journey, and hopefully I will see you very soon in another video.